This independent female artist has been in the music industry for over 40 years. She's also an actor who has shared the big screen with Rob Lowe, Sigourney Weaver, Julianne Moore, Kiefer Sutherland, and was one of the Jazza girls on Schitt's Creek. I am joined by Shakura S'Aida.
Hi, Dana. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, too. Over the phone, of course, because you're in Portugal right now. How are you?
I am. I'm doing really well. Thank you. I am in Portugal, but thank you for giving me some of your time while I'm here. I appreciate it. If there's noises behind me, I think there's frogs and crickets and other things which I'm not going to be figuring out what they are. I don't care what they are as long as they stay away.
Well, I'll never complain about nature sounds. It's the best.
Yeah.
So you recently just were announced as one of the recipients of the 4th annual Her Music Award, and that's through the SOCAN Foundation and Anthem Entertainment.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
When you were awarded, you said that you feel the need to adapt to shifts and changes in order to find success. Is that because your career has spanned over 40 years and you've seen so many different things change in the industry?
Yeah, I think, unless you're a very fortunate entertainer, you have to be willing to adapt and shift. But I also think that what I've seen from me, there is such a thing as ageism. Right. And in order to not get caught in that, it means that you have to keep not necessarily reinventing yourself, but rediscovering who you are and how you want to take up space in that moment. So that's pretty much what I've been doing for the last little while, is figuring out what space I want to take up and how much of it I want.
And it's nice to see when entertainers that have been in the business for a long time, it's actually a blessing when you can be, because sometimes the age isn't accepted.
Absolutely.
But when you're aging with your fans, some of your fans have been listening to you for 40 years and following your career. You have international success all over. Even though you represent Canada, and we're so happy that you do, you were Brooklyn born and you're raised in Switzerland.
That's absolutely right, yes. Yeah, we came over here in 71, and then we left and went to Switzerland. And then we left Switzerland, we came back to Toronto, and I've been here ever since, outside of traveling and touring. But this has been my home ever since.
With touring, so you said that in 8 days you're going to be starting a tour in France?
Yes, I'll be in France for 5 dates, including New Morning in Paris and Bain de Blues in Bretagne and Calais at the SWOMP blues festivals. So it'll be quite fun.
Oh, that's so
It'll be a lot, but it'll be quite fun.
Is there anything special you do to keep your voice nice and sharp and beautiful when you have to sing that many days in a row?
Well, I don't know if my voice is ever sharp and beautiful, but in order to keep me being able to sing, I have an amazing vocal teacher by the name of Faulkner Abrams. And, I have recordings of his teaching. So when I'm on the road, I spend 40 minutes warming up before every single show. And as much as I'm enjoying Portugal right now with the great wines and the ice cream and the great meals, once I get on the road, I really par down what I eat and drink so that I'm not doing things that impact my voice. So no chocolate, no sauces, no dairy, no coffee, no fun, pretty much.
Oh, my goodness.
It changes extramentally. Yeah.
I was just actually reading that Taylor Swift is not doing any alcohol for this whole tour that she's doing.
Oh, you can't. You can't. Yeah, it dries everything out. I mean, there's so many between no nuts and no milk and no chocolate and no. You have to really have a handle on what you need in order to have your best voice at all times, especially because touring isn't glamorous. You're up early in the morning and you're going to new places, and then you're staying up late to perform, and then you're going to bed late and waking up, and you're meeting a lot of people. So you really do need to have some sort of discipline in order to do it and stay in good health. I always say to my students that, you're an athlete. We're athletes. And we just happen to not have a ball in our hands and not have on sneakers. We're on a stage and we're in front of people, but we have to think of it as a sporting event where you have to do your warm up, you have to be mentally, physically prepared, and you have to do the right things, in order to sustain it.
There would have to be a certain kind of mindset to get through everything and, still have yourself well at the end of it. So you said that you had students.
Absolutely.
Are you a teacher?
I'm not a teacher. No, I do workshops, and I do authentic stagecraft workshops where I speak to people about how to be our authentic selves on stage. I think it's important that we learn how to just relax and be ourselves and not have to think about who we're supposed to be as opposed to who we really are.
That's amazing that you do that for people, because I'm sure that there's not a lot of people doing that for artists.
No, I wish I had somebody early on telling me that I didn't have to be what I thought I needed to be, and I could have just been myself. It might have made things a little bit easier, but I'm glad I got to that point after a while.
And now you're there and you're helping people get there earlier in their career, which is amazing.
Thank you.
So you wrote your last album with Donna Granis?
Yes. She was one of the writers on the album.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the album's called Hold On to Love. You can find it everywhere. That came out in 2022. So
Yes.
I know people don't like to bring up the pandemic, but I'm always interested to find out if, were you going to release it before the pandemic happened, or was it something that was created during?
No, I actually in 2017 received a Toronto Arts Council grant, songwriting grant, and I went down to Martinique to write purposely to create material for this album. And I had already written a few songs before this. And by the time I came back from Martinique, I had a lot more songs. And we started recording in the fall of 2017. But my life changed drastically. I had some family losses, some family illnesses, and also some big shifts in my family life, my personal life, that just put me in a place where I wasn't able to create in the same way. So by the time I was ready to start creating again in 2019, we started a little bit, and then all of a sudden the world ended.
Oh my goodness.
Or world not ended, but it stopped.
The way we know it.
Yeah, it felt like it ended. Yeah, the world that we knew ended, absolutely. And so I had to stop and just rethink a lot of things, and I don't think I would have had the same album if I put it out before the pandemic. It's not a pandemic album.
No, not at all.
It certainly is touched by what was going on during that time. Musically, lyrically, melodically, I think a lot of the pandemic feelings went into it, definitely.
And then you also have done acting, but you took to the theater stage. You were the star and creator of the 4-woman tribute to Nina Simone. So what obviously Nina inspired it, but to start that and to make it happen, how did that come about?
I was really lucky. I was challenged quite a few years ago by a woman by the name of Sybil Walker, who was always one of the number one club managers and booking people for the Senator and places like that. And she asked me to put together a Nina Simone tribute. And after I did it, I started thinking about the lyrics that Nina used to represent herself, and also the music that she used, because, she did a lot of cover music, a lot of standards, as well as her own music. And I started thinking about the women who inspired me, and two of the women whose voices absolutely inspired me were Kelly Lee Evans and Jackie Richardson. And I was really curious to see what would happen if you put us on stage together doing Nina's music. And from that, it started, I guess, being one type of show, but I pitched it to Soul Pepper, and they gave me a dramaturge, and the dramaturge said to me, give the story a beginning, middle, and end. And through that, I started looking at Nina's history, what she had been through in her life and how she had gotten to where she had gotten to. And it became this story of Nina's life, accidentally, as told through the lyrics she used to represent herself and the music that she played. Being on stage with Jackie Richardson and Kelly Lee Evans is probably one of my most favorite things of all time, because these two women embody so much of what I love about performance. They're consummate entertainers, stunning voices in very, very different ways. And I could listen to them all day, all night, and they bring you to tears with their truth and with everything about their voices is just stunning.
So do you have plans to do something similar in the future?
I would like to put the Nina Simone show on again. I did it on the Legendary Blues Cruise a little while ago, and it was very successful there. We did 2 shows of it, and it's really interesting because I guess with everything that's changed in the world, the play takes on different meaning. Right. And so I had grown men coming up and crying in my arms, saying how much the play touched them, and that shocked the heck out of me. But it is a play that really deserves to be seen because it's not like anything else that I've seen. You know, it doesn't follow the regular form of a play, and it's certainly not a variety show either. So I quite love it, and I do hope I get to do it more.
I would love to see it. I'll keep an eye, and I hope everybody else does too. You're going to be doing festivals this summer, and obviously coming back this way as you live in Toronto. But are you playing in the area anytime soon?
Not that I know of. It hasn't been planned yet, but you never know. Something might pop up last minute. Thus far, I've got some work in France, and then I need to start writing for the new album. So that's probably going to be most of my focus. I'm going to be doing some traveling. Thanks to the Her Music Award, I'm going to be doing some traveling and researching for the next album.
And when can we expect that to drop?
As soon as it's done.
Yeah, because you never know what life will throw at you, right?
Nope. Well, I make no promises, so I don't have to break any.
That is a good way to live. Well, thank you so much for taking the time with me. You have had such an interesting career, and I can't wait to watch what you have coming to us in the future.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you.